Hello everyone. This is an introductory lecture on applied linguistics. In this lecture, we will learn what is applied linguistics. What is the difference between a linguist, an applied linguist, and a person who teaches English. We will also learn the birth of applied linguistics or the birth of applied linguist. So let's learn in detail what is applied linguistics. What is applied linguistics? Generally, we define that applied linguistics is the branch of linguistics. It studies how language is used, how language is learned, and what are the problems in the real world that are related to language and how to solve them. So, applied linguistics is the branch of linguistics. What does it do? It studies how language is used, so the use of language, right? And how language is learned. The learning of language, how language is taught, the teaching of language, and then what are the problems related to language teaching, language learning, or when language is used in the real world by the people. What are the problems that people encounter when they use language in the real world, and how to solve those problems which are related to language. This is the function of applied linguistics, and this is what an applied linguist does. So we will discuss this all in detail in this lecture. So when we say that how language is learned, so it means that linguistics is applied in the classroom. But can we apply all linguistics in the classroom? So that's not possible. So all linguistics is not applicable to classroom or to solve the problems. So the teachers, they do not bring all linguistics like semantics, pragmatics to the classrooms because they encounter some problems, right? So these problems are solved by applied linguistics. So there is a question. When a teacher teaches English in the classroom and he or she encounters a problem related to language teaching or language learning, how can he or she solve the problem if he or she is merely a language teacher? So this problem related to language teaching and language learning will be solved by applied linguists. So here comes then applied linguist. Usually we have two kind of people. On the one hand we have linguists, and on the other hand we have teachers. Mostly linguists are not teachers and teachers are not linguists. So then we have both of them, right? And they are called applied linguists. So applied linguists are both. They are teachers also and they are linguists also. That's why we say that the problem related to language are solved by applied linguists. If you are merely a teacher, a language teacher, you cannot solve the problem. And if you are a linguist, so you will provide language theories. But you're not concerned whether these theories are applicable in the classroom or not, whether the students will learn these theories or not, because this is not your task, right? Here we continue with applied linguist. So what is common between them? That is language. Language is common between a linguist and a teacher. On the one hand, we can see that linguists study language, right? On the other hand, we see that teachers, they teach language. So language is common between them, between a teacher and between a linguist, right? But here is a wide gap between the two, between a teacher and between a linguist. The problem is when a linguist study language, so when they describe language or when they study language, so they put forward theories about language, like theoretical linguistics, descriptive linguistics, so they are not bothered about the classroom. They just study language as an object for them. They are not studying it for the sake of classroom teaching, right? So a linguist study also language. Language is common, and a teacher teaches language. But here we can see that a linguist, when a linguist provides us theory or describe a language, so a linguist is not concerned with language teaching or with language learning. He's not bothered about classroom. On the other hand, we see that there are teachers. So teachers are not linguists. Therefore, they turn to linguistic if they are reading linguistic books and they try to take anything from linguistic in order to apply that in the classroom. So we have syntax, there is syntax, semantics, pragmatics. They will try to use it in the classroom. But whatever the linguist has said may not be applicable in the classroom. If you bring them in the classroom, you will confuse your students. So the teacher teaches language and the linguist provides us theory. They describe a language and they teach language. So when a teacher needs or when a teacher teaches language in the classroom, he goes to a linguist. He picks up a linguistic book. That's on semantic. That's on pragmatics. Right? That is on syntax. And these things are taught in the classroom. But these things are not all applicable in the classroom. There is problem then. And the students, they do not learn properly. Or the teachers cannot teach properly. So here arise the problem. Now, for example, here we have rules given by linguist. So the linguist and the rule. According to the rule, linguist, when they describe a language, so they say that when you make the plural of a noun, like for example, house and plus s, so that is houses. And then they tell us that mouse plus s, that is mice. So if you are a grown student, so you may know, okay, that the plural of mouse, that is mice. But if you are like junior students, okay, or grade 5th students, or 6th student, or 7th students, so the students might ask you that how can you say that mouse plus s? So according to the rules, that mouse plus s is mice and house plus s is houses. So you cannot bring these rules to the classroom. You cannot tell your students that mouse plus s, that is mice. If you tell them that mouse plus s is mice, so you are going to confuse them. So this is the problem. So when a linguist draws rules, so he does not keep in mind the classroom or the teachers, that how such rules will be taught in the classroom and whether these rules would be handled by the students or not. So they only describe language. They give us theories. They are not concerned with the classroom. And when these theories or these rules are brought to the classroom by the teachers, so the teachers encounter problems. Because the student might ask a question that how that mouse plus s is mice. It's possible to say that house plus s is houses. But how is it possible to say that mouse plus s is mice? The rules say it's right, but the students won't understand. So this is a problem. Or for example, we have linguists and rules some more, like the linguists describe the rule or they tell us the rule that walk plus ed, that is walked, and run plus ed, that is ran. But if you bring such kind of rules to the classroom, so the students might ask you that how run plus ed, that is ran. But the rules say that no, that run plus ed, that is run. And walk plus ed, that is walk. So here we have zero morpheme. And you can't explain this zero morpheme to your students, right? So you can't explain these rules to the students. And if you are explaining the rules to the students, so you are going to confuse them. Again, let me remind you that when a linguist, they draw rules, so they do not keep in mind the environment of the classroom, right? Similarly, that we have some more linguists and rules, like according to the rules of a language, the small plus er smaller and small plus er smallest, but good plus er, that is better, not gooder, and good plus es, that is best, not goodest. So the rules, so the student might ask you that how good plus est is best and how good plus er is better, not gooder. right? So these are the problems, okay, that the students or the teacher may encounter when you teach them in the classroom, right? On this slide, we will discuss the birth of applied linguistics. There are some linguists who are interested in teaching. On the other hand, there are some teachers who are interested in linguistics. So these teachers, okay, they carried out their own research in order to find out how to solve problems in the classroom. For example, that if a teacher is teaching in the classroom and he or she encounters a problems in teaching or in learning, okay, it can be in phonetics and phonology, it can be in semantics, in pragmatics, in syntax, and so on. So these teachers will turn to linguistic book and will discover or will find out the solution of the problems, right? So in this case, they will bring linguistic to their classroom. Now, suppose that these teachers do not find any solution of the problems they encounter in the classroom. So what will they do? They will say, forget about this, right? Because they are not linguists. So these teachers are purely language teachers. They are not linguists. So they will think or they will say, okay, they forget about it. On the other hand, if a teacher is also interested in linguistics, so he or she will say that let me find out the solution of this problem myself, because the teacher is also a linguist. So they will try to find a solution. In this way, a linguistic, applied linguistic is born, or this is the birth of applied linguistic. I hope you got it, right? That some linguists, they take interest in teaching, and some teachers, they take interest in linguistic. So these linguists are also teachers, and these teachers are also linguists. So when these teachers, they are teaching in the classroom and they confront a problem, and the problem they cannot find in the books of linguistic, so they will find a way to solve the problem, because these teachers are also linguists. So if you are purely a teacher, you will say that forget about it, because you're a teacher, you're not linguist, okay? So you will leave the issue unsolved. But if you are also, on the one hand, you're a teacher, and on the other hand, you are a linguist, so you will sort out the problem, you will find out the problem, and then you will solve it, right? So we see, okay, that all the great linguists, we see that Wedderson, and we see that Guy Cook, so they were not just linguists, but they were also teachers, right? So this is the birth of applied linguistics. We continue the birth of applied linguistics. Therefore, the applied linguistics is the intermediately comes in between the two, like teachers and linguist. So on the one hand, we have teacher, on the other hand, we have linguist, and in the middle, we have applied linguist. So applied linguists are both. They are teachers also, and they are linguists also. So linguists are not teachers. Teachers are not linguists, but applied linguists are teachers also, and they are linguists also. So this is, okay, that the birth of applied linguistics. So applied linguistic with so the applied linguists, this is will get material from the linguistic and modify it for the classroom to help themselves and to help other teachers of English or in a language. Therefore, applied linguists come and discover something, for example, a solutions, and that solution is going to teachers as well as by himself, because they are also linguists. So these teachers are also teachers, and they are also linguists. So this is, okay, the birth of applied linguistics. So pure teacher versus applied linguist. If pure teachers cannot find the solutions in the book, they will simply say forget about it. Where applied linguists, when they cannot find solution of the problem in the books, they will take it upon themselves and find the solution themselves. They will carry out their own research. This is the difference between a pure teacher and applied linguist. A pure teacher will say that forget about it if he or she cannot find the solution of the problem related to language teaching and language learning in the books. They will say forget about it. And if you are an applied linguist and you cannot find the solution of your problem in the books, so you will discover yourself. You will make theories, right? And you will try to find out how to solve this problem because you're also a researcher, you're also a linguist now. It is said that a number of ways, number of things, the applied linguist is running ahead of linguist. Whatever applied linguist had proposed, if that is taken up by linguists and then they propose theories from that or model for that. Example from SLA, second language acquisition. How is second language acquisition? How is second language acquired? Or first language acquisition? It is carried about all the time by applied linguists. So second language acquisition, this research, and first language acquisition, this it is carried out by applied linguists, not by simply pure linguists. So the theory of second language acquisition and first language acquisition, difference between learning and acquisition is given by applied linguists, not by pure linguists. Now we have huge field for second language acquisition. So second language acquisition is the result of applied linguistics and applied linguist. The difference between learning and acquisition is proposed by applied linguists, and linguists are not concerned with learning and teaching or acquisition. Applied linguists are concerned for that. So linguists are not concerned with learning and teaching or acquisition. Applied linguists are concerned for that. So they study how first language is acquired, then they study how second language is acquired, then they bring those findings into the class, and then they discover that second language teaching is totally wrong, the way we teach, and then they give new theories. In the first language, for example, a child acquired the mother tongue without any teaching or formal instructions. So when a child acquires first language, so he is not required any teaching or formal instruction. This is not without any teaching or formal instruction, homework, teachers, etc. By the age of 5, a child acquired the basic of his first language. By age 7, the little more advanced, and age 11, his language is perfect. So a language may be simple or complex, but age 11, a child completes. It is concerned with cognitive development in all children around the world. Cognition with the same age and process. Here, applied linguists ask, we teach adults for 10 to 20 years and still they cannot speak. So what is wrong with them? They discovered that many things wrong with them. For example, when they come to classroom environment, it is totally changed. It is very formal, and they're sitting in chairs or around tables, and they have books, and we force them to write from very beginning. So this is a wrong approach to second language acquisition. So these concepts are given by applied linguists, not by pure linguists, right? So the word is not beginning, it is beginning. It's a typo mistake here. Then they say, why not we should play with children? When they come to school, they learn language at home and play. So the first language learned by the children, they learn at home by playing. So the teacher comes and sits and play games with them. If you let them write or say something, it is totally opposite of the first language acquisition. So according to this theory, that a child or a person acquires second language the way he or she acquires first language. So first language is acquired by playing. There is no formal instruction. So the second language should be also acquired with the same manner. They discover from their research that children learn through games, play, here and now. If something is outside, they are not going to learn. So these all theories are given by second language acquisition. And the second language acquisition theory is given by applied linguists, not by pure linguists. So today we can see that applied linguists are far ahead from pure linguists or from teachers. So thank you so much. It was all about this lecture today. We introduce what is applied linguistic, and we learned that who are linguists, who are teachers, and who are applied linguists. So applied linguists come between teacher and linguist. So a pure linguist is different and a teacher is different, and applied linguists, they are different. So thank you so much. It was all about applied linguistics. Please do provide your valuable comment, and please don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. Thank you so much.